Welcome to the IT Global Direction. I will be your host for today. Yuliya, please tell us a bit about yourself. Where are you in the world and what's the hot topic for today?
Reality-Rorisang. Okay, my name is Julian and I'm user experience designer and web designer. I always curious about how people think, feel, interact with the world. And originally I'm from Ukraine and I live it in Argentina. And now I live in Calgary, in Canada.
That's awesome.
And yes, and my topic today it's virtual reality.
Virtual reality. What is virtual reality, Yuliya?
Oh, it's really interesting. It's term used to describe a three-dimensional computer-generated environment which can be explored and interacted with by people.
Yeah.
So it's really interesting.
And how far can we interact with virtual reality? Is it like physical? Can I touch it?
Oh,
Yeah.
yeah, yes, sometimes yes. It's depend. It depend what types of virtual reality you have. It can be non-immersive. It can be full immersive or semi-immersive.
Oh, okay.
And if you have full immersive, it you can have some apparatus, apparatus to what can you use to feel like another dimension, you know.
Yeah.
It's really interesting when you play some game
Yeah.
or you can feel like you are not just a player, you are
Mm.
participate, fully participate.
In the game, right? And Yuliya, globally, I've seen quite a lot of the use of actually virtual reality. Do you have any recommendations where you have seen virtual reality working for big businesses in the world?
Oh, yes. In the business, I think virtual reality is projected to grow exponentially in 5 years.
Yeah,
It's clearly for now for me, and
yeah.
I think in business, it's like business education. Um, the I think the virtual technology enables sales teams to immerse their clients in an environment where they can interact with the product.
Mm.
So, so it's for example, if it's real estate, uh, you can interact and you can see your apartment in 3D, and you can see how can it be and what you want, and it's like some little touch.
Yeah, so it feels more real. Have you seen any differences because you've lived in Ukraine and now you live in Canada? Have you seen any differences in how virtual reality is used in these different places?
um,
Or is it the same?
I think it's a global now, and
Mm.
it's the same, but maybe in Canada or United States, it's a little more because they have more technology.
Oh,
So when you have more technology, for example, you can use for training virtual reality like bird flight simulator or something like this.
mm.
So it's different, and maybe in the future, the first meeting, this board meeting will be stopped, like team Zooms, and we can have other meetings in 3D. In the first countries, I think it can be Canada or it can be United States who will create these meetings because the
Technology.
big company like Meta and Microsoft now working in this.
Oh, that's incredible. And Yulia, for someone that's interested in working with virtual reality, do you have any specific technologies that you recommend people start learning? What are those technologies that are used to build virtual reality?
Oh, I work it a lot in 3D world. I work in 3D Max, but now a really good program is Unity because it's online and you can do all of things in online. So uh, yes, I think the programmers like Unity programmers or people who dedicated create environment 3D environment can be useful, really
Yeah.
useful.
Okay. And can people self-learn these technologies like Unity to be able to build virtual reality capabilities?
Yes, sure, but you need to be a programmer or you need interested. It need um,
Passion.
you need to have passion for this.
Yeah. Yeah.
But you can participate. You can just choose some game, 3D game, and participate in this crazy world, 3D world. It can
No,
be
that's interesting. So you don't need to only be a builder of virtual reality, but you can participate by using virtual reality, right? Yeah. No.
exactly. Mhm.
And then, Yulia, if in the future, because I mean, we're looking at it from a IT, a global direction perspective, do you foresee virtual reality being used a lot in the future? Um,
Yes, I'm sure virtual reality it can be grow exponentially in 10, 5 years, and it can be used for trainings in medicine and other areas of business, like we can say these meetings can be 3D meetings where people not just speak with you, they can participate, they can show something. It's crazy, it's interesting. It's really, it can be other world. I think in 5 years or 10 years, it can be completely different. Like
yeah.
Facebook, it's or Facebook or some Tinder, like Tinder, where the people can meet other people. It can be Thursday, it can be other world. I don't know.
Wow, Yulia, it sounds very interesting, I must say myself. Yulia, thank you so much for joining us today on the IT Global Direction. Let me try and sum up what we've learned today. You mentioned that virtual reality gives the world a more interactive experience. You mentioned that businesses can now look at it because it would give customers a more interactive experience. You also mentioned that a virtual reality, you don't just need to look at it from a building perspective, but you can also look at it from interacting with virtual reality capabilities. And what's interesting, you also mentioned that there are technologies out there for people that are interested in virtual reality, like Unity, where people can learn and use them to enable this virtual reality capability. Yulia, did I miss any important part? It was an interesting conversation, especially for me, a technical person. Yeah.
Oh, thank you so much, Rizank. It was really interesting for me too.
Thank you.
Thank you.